Welcome back to The Buck Stops Here. Om Puri is an actor that generations of Indians have admired and respected. And now there's a new biography out on him. That in itself would not be so unusual were it not for the fact that the biography has been written by his wife, journalist Nandita Puri. Now, can a wife actually tell an honest tale about her husband? To find out that and more, let's go across to author Nandita Puri, who's joining us from Mumbai. Nandita, how honest would you say is this book? Because after all, the instinct of a wife is to protect her spouse, to not let the dirty secrets come tumbling out. But yet, just from the excerpts that one's read, your book seems quite vivid and candid.
Hi, Barka. Yes, I know you're right. I mean, the instinct of the wife to begin with is that of a very protective spouse. But then, don't forget that I'm a journalist at the end of the day. So I have to be somewhere honest to my profession, and that was the whole idea of this biography, that I wanted to tell a story and I wanted to tell it as honestly as possible.
But Nandita, you know, you write quite candidly, for example, about your husband's earlier sex life, including the fact that he lost his virginity at the age of 14, that too to a 55-year-old woman who worked as a domestic help in the house that he lived in. Now, that's pretty unusual stuff, for a wife to be comfortable with, because women and men often fight over sexual history.
Well, yes, it was a little, you see, the reason why this biography took a long time was partly, you know, the personal life, the women in his life. And being a wife, had I written this biography, say, about 6, 7, 8 years back, I would have been a lot more uncomfortable. But with the passage of time, with age, with a lot of maturity, and with a certain amount of detachment with which I wrote this biography, it was difficult, but it was, well, what had to be told had to be told.
Was it emotionally difficult for you to write about things that were so personal and connected to women when it came to your husband?
Yes, it was. It was very difficult, especially, you know, women of immediate past. So, you know, because you are somewhere connected in the whole thread of, you know, his women. And it was a bit difficult, and at times, you know, one wanted to put in one's personal views, but then I said, no, one has to be very detached, and however difficult it was, one had to tell the truth, one had to write the truth.
Sure, but you know, you were writing things like he almost married his maid. I mean, surely there's a sense, did you feel like you were getting to re-know your husband, or maybe get to know parts of him that you didn't know earlier while writing this book?
Well, when I first married Om did tell me about this incident with his maid. But, you know, I didn't take it very seriously, because I think deep down, I mean, Om was honest enough to confide in me years ago. But I'm sure this kind of incident happens with lots of men who don't normally, you know, want to talk about their past. But when I was writing the biography, I asked Om, I said, now tell me, obviously there are much, much more experiences, you know, sexual and experiences he's been through. But obviously everything you just can't write. It has to be the important bits, which the experiences which were important to his life. And he felt that this particular experience with the maid was important to his life. In fact, I asked him, I said, I hope you're not ashamed of it, and also as a wife to put that down, because I know at some point my son is going to read this. And I said, do you think you should? He said, no, if I want to, I would rather be honest. And of course, it was entirely up to me to add this or not add this. But then somewhere, as I felt, if it had to be told, it had to be told truthfully and honestly. And being a journalist, I just felt, you know, I mean, we'll put everything aside, all, you know, embarrassments and whatever, and just go ahead and tell the story, and tell the story well.
Tuba.com,